Good evening and welcome to our GT7 finale here at the infamous Nurburgring. Home usually to the Nurburgring 24 hours. We're going to be home to 2.4 hours or just under this evening, 17 laps. Dynamic weather possible, and that dynamic weather did arrive last weekend. So let's see what this evening brings. The championship is set. That was awarded last week to Honda. However, as we saw last week's GT class race, winning this event is almost like a mini championship in its own. It will be a real test of those out on the track. We have got a mixture. It is mainly, as it should be, your GT Pro and your GT class higher end. I think there's a couple of reserves in there. But what that has meant is it's given us a full grid. I think particularly when you're racing here, a full grid makes a big difference. Right. So Lucky has just reset the lobby to give us the correct time of day, because we're starting in twilight, so you will see this evening it will go twilight to dark, and then we will come back round to foggy morning. And we are in reverse championship order, so that again we'll put another spanner in the works, as it did for those last week. Please forgive me just having a quick bite to eat. It's going to be a long old evening, but if it's anything like last week's race, full of drama. Last week's race brought some intermittent rain, brought a few issues along the way and plenty of drama. You should be seeing the more skilled end of the field today, so there might be less incidents, but I'd imagine the drama stay the same. And I think potentially here we were a bit robbed last week of a battle for the win. It looked like Filthy and Zorro were going to converge at the end. I don't want to jinx it, but I can't see a way this evening that we won't see that battle. Although the championship's already been decided, it's been so even between the top guys in this field. It's just been Honda's just been more consistent. But there's nothing to choose really between Honda and Lucky, Alakos and Smiley, and then just behind there, Asford on his day can really mix with those guys, as can Gloss, who's our GT class champion. Apex, again on his day, can mix it with those guys as well. So that's, and as we go for the rest of the field here, we've got, I'm just looking at, you've got Skinner, who's only done the one race for this, but exceptionally fast. Arva struggled last week, but had been making good progress until now. JH, we know, very quick, though he's going to struggle in that car a little bit. Again, Darth Moose had WC coordinator, and quick on his day. Beeman has flown in the second half of the season. Filthy could have very easily won last week's race. So you go for this whole field and, it's stacked. Just like Lucky know. Just like Lucky know we're ready when he is. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, roughly 170 corners. I don't think anybody knows, but yeah, 170 so corners on this lap to navigate. We'll see that the faster guys in the the kind of 8. Probably, I think we did see boosted, but before these cars are nerfed slightly, do an 8-minute lap here a few years ago. But I think we'll probably see around an mid 8:10 to mid 8:15, something like that. We're obviously missing one here, but Lucky says looks like we're going to go with a 14. Shame that there's a fuel left over that we haven't been able to fill the grid, but See, it's already going a bit dark already. As always, when we start reverse grid here, it'd be how much can the guys clear in the GP part of the tracks. Once you move on to the life, it's very difficult to overtake there. And then there's some of the guys have made some progress, you're left behind, but it's a long old race. Strategy-wise, in the practice, I mean, the mediums will do 4 laps. It's the 5th lap which puts a bit of danger in it for some of the cars, particularly your heavy cars. I know Airman are struggling to achieve it in the Merc, but maybe more do with the Audi. It's whether you'll see people do 1 5 lap, the rest 4, or will some do a mixture of 4 and 3 lap stints. We will see. But we are about to get underway. Skinner on the reverse skid pole, very quick on his debut at Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago, so see if he can make that count. He's joined in the front row by Arva. Our championship leader Honda starts way back in P14, but we are already 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and away we go into this heavy braking zone in turn 1. You know, that Porsche struggles off the line. Beeman on softs is flying. Is he going to take a send into here? Let's hope these guys all make it through clean. Oh no. Oh dear. There's contact already there. Oh, there's contact now further back as well. But Asriel's flown it to P4. So it's Arvin that leads after a difficult race last week. JH in P2. God, the car looks good, doesn't it? Skinner P3. Asriel P4. Gloss P5. Airman's got through to P6. Gloss has got front bumper damage. Airman P6, Apex P7, Alicos P8, Apex, sorry, P8, Honda P9, no damage, Lucky P10, no damage, Smiley P11, no damage, the 5th P12, Jay hasn't got any damage, this is good. Noose is a bit off the back of the pack that's been involved. The only one who looks like with damage is Gloss. But sorry, we have missed her front. JH has taken into the lead. A Nurburgring specialist himself. I don't know if that car is going to be that well matched to here, but Jake takes the early lead from Skinner. So we go on board here from Skinner in P2. Through the chicane. We're just about to go onto the Schleif section of this track. Oh, he's going to send it. That's... Whoa. He did well to pull out that, so anyway, that one. He's trying to get ahead before we get into this section of the track. Oh, that's a bit of a push to pass, isn't it, there? Didn't have the full angle, but that's the problem sometimes, because people are so keen to get moved on before you move on to this part of the track, where it's not impossible to overtake, but certainly more challenging. Asriel, who's just recently made a switch to Z4, has absolutely flown his way to P3. Imagine that GT race car is going to be quite quick on the straight. Let's get back up to... Let's see the row of cars from behind following through. And they're not even they're just about a quarter of the way through the first lap. And it's going to... That Porsche's doing alright, you know, because it's not the quickest on the straight. The Ford is closing. Oh, a bit deep from JH. That may open the door to Asriel. It's a bit further back. Oh, Arthur all up on the curb. Has he survived that? Yeah, it's Airman's through Gloss. It's just a shame. Gloss has just got that bumper damage. It's going to really hamper him when we get back onto that Dawson's straight. Alicos up to P7 already. Oh, Alicos on the grass. Oh, I think he's just about managed to save it. He's now going to have Smiley and Honda, you'd think, all over him. Get on board. This is Honda now. He's won the championship last week. He's been fending off this man though the last few weeks, and the man in front of him. You know that Audi's very good on its tyres, which could be key around here. Lambo does not like the curbs. And at times you've got to use those to get round this track, so we'll see how that plays out. So hard here, it's pretty dark already for the first lap. You'll see the shadow just makes it so difficult to see ahead. Shame we've just got the one car with damage, but at least they are all still intact. Oh, Jay's got bumper damage as well. Oh, what's happened to Lucky? Oh, Lucky's got bumper and suspension damage. He's fallen to the back of the field. I know he's been struggling a bit in the Beetle, especially around here, but that you spoke too soon about this team staying intact. Back of the front, it's still Skinner from JH from Asriel. I know the tyre wear is a concern on that Z4, so we'd have to monitor that, see how it goes. Although a few of these guys have been debating that switch to a 4-4, 2 4-lap stints and 3 3-lap stints. So yes, it'll be an extra stop. But a race this long, you maybe have a bit more time to cover it. Well, Asriel really looking on the back of JH now. So Z4 has got good straight line speed and better match that GT. It'd be interesting to get onto that Dossinger straight. Skinner might be vulnerable here. Got a great view of it here from this. Oh, Jake's onto the grass. As you're going to try and pin it around the outside, can he make that stick? He can. Oh, I just see this is so, you know, you're pushing like mad. Tyres are cold, tracks incredibly difficult. You just see. You can't gently bring these in, because you gently bring them in, the whole field will come past you. So it's come to his second carousel now. Yeah, great view behind. This front three are really doing well. Yeah, Asriel at times has had a difficult season in the Renault. Oh, but again, Skinner in the Porsche got a little bit wide. He's done really well. You know, young guy, it's only his second race with us, and he held his nerve in this opening lap, made a brave move. Obviously, you see afterwards if it was a fair move on JH before we got onto the section. But just see that therefore just struggling with a little bit of understeer. Might be the dirty air, the car ahead, and the cold tyre combo. And move into the good old party going on the left. Just see the lights of the forward behind just coming through that rear wing of the Z4. Oh, hanging on as we move on board of Jake. Oh, that's Asriel who's dropped back. That's now Airman into P3, who really fancies this track. He doesn't quite fancy that Mercedes tyre wear. But already we've brought you the drama, haven't we, on this opening lap. That board looks absolutely fantastic in these conditions. It sounds good as well. Oh, it looks squirrely under power. Jake probably winning no TC. Yeah, he is winning no TC as well. Could be ominous now with Airman behind as we go on to the Dossinger straight for the first time. Expect here the Ford and the Mercedes to fly up against the Porsche. We shall see. Let's hop on board of Airman and see it from his point of view. Three seconds behind. How well is Gloss doing? He's in P4 with damage. Said that just as Asriel's just gone past him. You can see ahead, JH is really closed up on Skinner. He's going to go for the move here at the end of the first lap. He has round the outside. And it stops into here. What a first lap. We've seen multiple changes for the lead, multiple changes of position. We have seen some damage, unfortunately, for some of the field. We will see who boxes, who doesn't. But JH leads from Skinner, from Airman. Asriel's coming back to P4, Smiley P5, Alico's P6, Glossboss right on his tail. And that damage, he's probably lost a whole stack of time down the Dusty Straight. But is he going to go? He's switched from the outside to the inside into turn 1. On Alicos, he's got that stopped as well. I tell you what, he's driving the wheels off that Porsche. Great stuff from Smiley. Alicos is just behind him in P7. We'll go down the rest of the field in a minute, but I just want to stick with this one momentarily. It's just 7 seconds currently separate the top 3. We'll get back to the lead battle in just a moment. Apex in P8, Beeman in P9 again. He hasn't boxed for his damage either. Noose in P10. Lucky's also gone on with his damage, P11. Filthy P12. Arthur P13. He's boxed. That's a real shame. He had a good opening start to this race. He had a difficult race last week. Hondan has also boxed. P14 that we want to watch there. He's got clear air. I wonder if that's been brought about when he should look over it. JH is your leader. We have to be neutral, but if somehow he could secure Nord's win here in a Ford, that would be something a bit special. But look, we're 16 laps and best part of 2.5 hours away from that becoming reality. Now, I've just forgotten the relationship between Skinner and Evan. I think it's potentially younger brother. But I know Evan's been keen to get him around. And he is doing well. There'll be any calls here at all. Front 3 have opened up a really decent gap. Watch it. This is what will make it interesting, watching these guys come back through. Like, so Smiley now on the back of Asriel. Alicos has got back ahead of Gloss, as you can see behind. I've driven this track recently myself. It's just so many fine margins of commitment, but you can see Smiley was uber committed around there, and he's now closing in, but there isn't really anywhere to get moved on here. Although I have seen Max Verstappen complete one here on iRacing, but Smiley sits in for now. Oh, big closing distance there. One thing I can see in this race is such a varied field of cars. I say worry, but wonder if next year we'll see that same variety of the 2 new cars that have been added. But let's see. Wow, look at the sparks flying off the bottom of that Z4. Now we've got Alicos very much joining this battle behind. So those guys that have got damage, I wonder if they just did the lap 1 box and then just moved naturally onto their four lap stints on the mediums, but tricky one. Because then you've got little room to error should anything else happen. As we chase Azure here. I mean, the gap isn't huge, is it? It's 7 seconds ahead. On a track this big, it's practically nothing, really. And we've missed it. I do apologise, but he is ahead of Skinner. But now JH has a 2.2 second lead. I'm interested in the tyres, because I know Evan's been complaining about his tyres in practice. But the tyre weight is identical with JH on the Ford there. I feel like something must have happened to Skinner, because that seems like quite a big gap to be off Airman when he's only just passed him this lap. And you can see now Asriel a lot closer to him. Gloss has started on the softs anyway, so I'd imagine he's in this lap. So again, that at least that offsets some of the that damage. Noose has always still at the start on the softs, but look at the wear on him. Crikey. See Honda trying to make some progress back. And Jake's driven so many laps this track, not necessarily on this game, not them on ACC, but regardless of how the track or may feel different on different games and physics, it's just knowing this track will give you an advantage on all 170 corners of it. Oh, it just the thing is, he's driving so well, but it just, I don't think he could ever look comfortable. Particularly in these conditions. We will see the lights start to come up as this race goes on. Not that the track gets that much easier in the daylight. I tell you, it looks super smooth and committed through there. I don't want to say, can't say it's a comfortable lead, can you? 3 seconds here, but in a good position. Now Skinner has got, that's the problem, he's got rear bumper, rear suspension damage. Has now been very much rejoined by Azra and Smiler. Now Azra's tyres are doing slightly worse on the fronts to the Mercedes 4, but slightly better on the rear to give or take in a similar position. And look again, the Audi just seems so good on its tyres. Oh, Alico's keeping them in touch here. Oh, so he's going to kicking up, quite a few of them kicking up grass there on the exit curb. Oh, who's that? It's Alico. I think he saved it though. Oh no, he's off on the grass again. Sorry, it's just so surprising because we know, this is a guy who just claimed another championship last night in the Sprint Cup, but it's having a couple of tricky moments here. And then I feel if he's passing those tyres, nearly giving up on him now. Oh dear, look at Jay's damage. Engine, he's going to have to pit this lap. He's got suspension, bumper, engine damage, the whole lot. And then Arthur's got damage again as well. Bless him, he had such a difficult race last week as well. This track just takes no prisoners, does it, whatsoever? Oh, and then back at the front. Edmund has somehow taken away a 3-second lead on JH. JH now has damage, bumper and suspension. We said this track won't take any prisoners, and it's proven so. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, even so, he's given the Mercedes a decent drag race here. As we just zoom in to get a better look there, JH has regained the lead. Will he pit? It looks like he's going to go on. Oh, it's a real shame. He's having such a good race. So many of these guys having. This might come down to just who makes the fewest mistakes. Evan switches to the inside. Oh, is there a little bit of contact there? These guys are just going bumper to bumper. Hard racing. We need to row. Smiley is now in P3, 3 seconds off the lead. Alicos is ahead of Azriel. Azriel's lost managed to lose a couple of places there. Skinner very close on the damage. Oh, is that a bit of door to door as well? Azriel's back through. Don't know if she's going to let him back through. So your top 6 a minute covered by 5 seconds. Long may that continue. Look at the work that the front brake just are doing there. Oh man, these guys are close. Really, I hope we just see everyone make the end. We did manage it last week in GT class, so hopefully the same again. Azrael's got a 1 second penalty. That's going to definitely allow Anna Coast back through. How well has JH done to retain this lead at the front? So just, yeah, but yeah, I've got this gang gaining on them behind. Oh, some big tyre squealing behind. Back on board on Mercedes. So we can see behind. Smiley closing in. It's great though that we're on lap 3 of the race and we've still got a super tight battle here at the front. And having to lift. Is he going to try and get a move done here? Or can you make that stick on the outside? He's put a lot of trust in his dance partner there, but it was given. He couldn't make it stick, and now he's going to have. Just looking behind. Now he's going to start showing closer and closer. This is the issue, I think, with not getting the move done in the GP part. I'm sure he'd have been trying, but he's just going to keep looking back and just seeing that those two smiling Alicos getting closer and closer. We've seen so many battles recently between those three, and Lucky as well, but Lucky's kind of taken himself out of them running, unfortunately. We're through the first 20 minutes of this race. JH, I mind you, your race leader has damage, but how well is he doing? Everyone's trying to plot a way past. Jake has built up a reputation as the Minister of Defence, and you can see why. It's not an easy task. But all the time, Smiley's getting closer and closer behind. Oh, Jake's up on the curb. That will compromise him, but again, I don't think he can move that into here. One last corner before the big, before we go into the big straight. Just trying to take a cut back line, but now, yeah, it's not really a straight, but it's a flat out section. Where you think this would be where the damaging is hurting Jake, but can anyone navigate a safe way past? We're about to find out. Zoom again. As close this action as we can. Oh my word, they're side by side. Oh, Jake cuts him off. He was ahead, so I think that's all fair, but now this does really bring Smiley onto the back. And Alicos onto the back of these three. Have a great view from his car. We've seen how many battles recently have we seen between the leaders. And this time Jake's well and truly inserted himself into it as well. Underfield box this lap. Whoever's going to try and commit to the 4 stick-on strategy. As you get these cars multiple close together, and here you're at the back of the train, you can see how those shadows affect. You know, Azul's only 1 second back, but I think he's got a penalty to serve. A little dab of the brakes there you saw, and again. It's incredible this. And just see where each car and driver has their individual strengths, and they ebb and flow corner to corner, but they'll end up back where they were. Look back now. Jake's got to have 4 cars to send. Wait, it's got them on them. It goes a little bit wide. It's going to put him under massive pressure, surely. being swarmed now. There's a bit of a gap in the field, you can see a few packs starting to form, but right now we have to stick with this because we have got 5 cars here fighting for the lead of this race. So it'll be a fascinating view. We'll stick with this until we get onto that Dawson straight. Yeah, just got to be patient. Just getting through these last corners. Just want to make sure, particularly this damage, Jake needs to have as good a run as he can onto that straight. Again, though, that's a little bit compromised. Here we go then. You watch the drafting down here. So it's a shame that Adsol's about to serve that penalty because this is about to get very interesting. Is there going to be any bumping going on, or are we just going to fight it out? Oh, Smiley's got ahead of Herman there. He's over. Oh my word, what a shot that is. These cars coming down here. Smiley and Jay trying to make out who's who. Jake's now dropped to 3rd. These cars are nose to tail. Oh, who's that? Who's going to cut across the grass there? Was it Jake who cut across? Was it Herman? I think it was Herman who had to cut the grass. Jake does box. So, the new battles for this lead have become Smiley and Alicos. What happened to Herman? He's 5 seconds back. I think it must have reset it. I think he cut across the grass. And Asriel served that penalty. So before we know it, we've had a battle between Jake and Herman for the lead. That was after Skinner and Herman's early battle. And now it's Smiley and Alicos joining it out for the lead. I don't know what happened to Smiley there, but Alicos was able to put out a move on the outside. And now Alicos is your new race leader. I'm trying to keep track now of how many different cars have led this race. No, Panda, I don't know who's missing, but we started at 14. Lucky did wait and hold on, but someone is missing. But nobody's left. It's good to see, despite a couple of people at the back, as you can see, having difficult races. Beaming out to pit for engine damage and some other bits and bobs. As are the... Oh, I see Goss is back in as well with damage. That's his second stop, which is a shame for him. Honda Championship leaders a difficult race up to here. Skinner in P9, Jake, our early leader, has pitted P8. Yeah, I get it, Panda. Very annoying. And we'll have to address that afterwards. And same here. I was available to race as well, so. But it's frustrating. Right, now something. Right, so Smiley and Alicos, yeah, just trying to work out what was happening to him, and I think obviously something happened down that straight and Chicane ended up cutting the rest. I don't think it's resetting, but it's cost him a hell of a lot of time. So Alicos, you know, just driven a sensible race. You've seen it as he just worked his way up slowly, realises just how much time there is in this race, so he's still got well over 2 hours to go. But he now holds the advantage. And these guys have battled back from the back of the field as well, which again is a skill very much in its own right. And again, I'm going to be concerned as well about that front left tyre. It's been worrying him a lot in practice. He was considering doing the extra stop. He's obviously decided to commit and get this 5-lap stint out of the way, and I'm hoping he can do 4 from there, but I'd imagine he'll need some management this lap. It's just letting those front two get away, but similar with Azrael, he's obviously gone on another lap. Just want to get this 5-lap stint out of the way, and then know I can just do 4s for the rest. Again, Lucky's... Oh, he's got damage again though, Lucky. And his tyre wear looks like that's the second... No, actually, has Lucky pitted? I think he's just carried on with that damage, hasn't he? Makes sense. Dragged himself up. I can't work out, Panda, who it is that's missing. But yeah, it is frustrating. as I always say here, you're already limited by the game's grid size. You want to have as many cars on track as this as you can, but we've had high drama. We had Skinner and JH battling for the lead on lap 1. We've then had Jake and we were then joined by Smiley and Alicos and Asriel battling for the lead, and now we've ended up with a battle with Smiley and Alicos. Now Jake's pitted probably a lap earlier than planned, but he had damage. That just shows how well Jake was driving to stay in this race with damage. We know how evenly matched these guys are. Unfortunately, Smiley, with some other commitments, were denied a Sprint Class Championship showdown last night. They were 2 points separated going to the last round. Unfortunately, Smiley wasn't able to make it to Alicos to field that title, but we might see a battle here to be king of the Nurburgring, which won't come with a crown next to your name in the Discord, but you know, still has a lot of precedent. Yeah, I mean, Panda, I also said I have to be neutral, but if Jake was able to come in here and win the Ford as a reserve driver, would be incredible. He did an incredible opening stint. He was hanging with these guys, doing his Minister of Defence tactics, but all fair and above board, and he was holding the lead, but he's had to pit probably a lap earlier than he would like. He was driving with damage and just had to see what he can do. Yeah, so I think Ehrman's having to really manage this tyre to get it through. He's obviously very calculated, and he's probably just thinking, I know he was talking about taking the extra stop, but weighing up doing the extra stop versus doing this slightly longer stint. It does now mean that, I mean, Asriel's tyres in a similar position here. Yeah, I haven't seen the incident, Panda, with the Kangaroo. I've seen the bad crash coming down. I will catch up on some of the highlights later. I doubt they'll show the Kangaroo one, will they? But I'd say, yeah, props to Apex and Filthy. And Filthy definitely dropped back at the start. I don't know if that was just because of the Audi or because of some of the shenanigans at turn 1, but we know he's got tremendous pace here and consistency. I mean, look, his fastest lap's like a second and a half off Honden's now. Second half normally considered off the pace, but a track this size, it's nothing at all. Alicos is just stretching his legs slightly on Smiley as well. Evening, Bluebird. Thank you for joining. It's Bluebird, Scotching Bluebeard even. Hopefully we can see you back on track soon. We've missed you this season for sure. But thank you for joining us for this finale, which we are just over half an hour in, and we've got 1 second covering the top 2. Now, a lap ago we had 1 second covering the top 5, but things have happened. Just gonna invite Panda in case he wants to join. Just 1 second, just trying to find Panda. They're both in. There he is. Alright, front four all in. Will Apex follow them in? Yes, he does. Let's look at the fuel. Look how much fuel Alicos and Smiley have saved as well on Airman and Asfield. That's going to be worth seconds in that pit stop. Imagine we'll see Lucky in as well. Yeah. JH will go on because he's pitted earlier. Now this will be interesting on the exit here. I think he's going to retake the lead here, JH. He is going to be offset. Let's have a look. Smiley's in that pit too. Oh, Smiley's just ahead, but he will have to go for the car, the warm-up phase. And Smiley take less fuel there than Alicos. Yeah, he has. Okay. As always, we've got different strategies at play. Fueling. What's the tyre strategy? Looks similar, different fuels for that. Oh, yeah, Zoe, that doesn't sound very nice. And Bluebeards, yeah, it'd be great to see you for some races next year. Now, I'd say, yeah, if JH can do anything to reclaim this lead, and he is purple, it would need to be during this lap while Smiley's bringing those new tyres up to temperature. Smiley's obviously thought that I'll take a slight hit on the fuel. You can see they both obviously save a lot of fuel as well compared to the others. The other interesting one is how's Honda playing now. He's off strategy, obviously he's a bit early. That's his skin loss has got damage again, which is a real shame. And then Airman, as you saw, was struggling for fuel and tyres, but he's on fresh tyres now. 12 seconds though to Smiley. Admittedly, that feels a lot, doesn't it? When you know how evenly matched these guys are, it feels a lot. Tokyo Bluey. You've lost me there, Panda. Quick flick through this field. You know what, it's relatively tight, so we've had a bit of few shenanigans, you know, top 9 covered by 25 seconds. Loose driving well, because he's, again, limited by the tyre wear in that Hyundai. Lucky's on another recovery drive. Struggling, I think, with that car. It'd be good to see him. I know he won't go with one of the meta cars next year, it's just not his style. It'd be good to see him in something more committed. Oh, of course, reference to Bluebird, who was there recently, posted some in Tokyo recently, and posted some incredible pictures of the cars. And then you've got these 3 guys, they are sticking at it, which is good to see, but they're having a difficult race. Be interested how this all plays out later when Smiley and Alicos converge. JH has taken a bit of time out of Smiley this lap, about 4 attempts. But again, oh, that won't help. He's purple again, but he's just slightly off strategy with the tyres. Oh no, what's that for Jake? Oh no, it's going to be damage, isn't it? Has he dodged the damage? So he's dodged the damage. I mean, it's massive time loss. It's going to be dirty tyres, and Alico's going to be breathing all down his neck. Oh, it's a shame. He's making such good progress. Just shows that he just cannot feel comfortable on the straight. He's trying to warm those tyres, trying to clean the tyres probably as well. Yeah, I think Alico's just caught him in the wrong part of the track here. Oh, Alico's now on the grass. And this is when you're seeing drivers of this caliber make mistakes, it just tells you what a hard track this is, particularly in these night conditions. Alico's all over the back of Jake. Just have to see. I'm looking forward, although I love night racing, it's not like racing at Bahrain or Jeddah, is it? It'd be great to see these liveries in their full glory as the sunlight starts to come up. Really interesting what Smiley's done here by that slightly short fuel. He's giving himself clear air on Alicos, and could that be a key move? Yes, he'll lose time at the next pit stop to Alicos, but would he have gained that back with his clear air advantage? It's Audi from Ford from Lamborghini in the top three. Honda will be pitting soon, so again he'll be off strategy slightly. Yeah, Joe seems to recompose himself, doesn't he, after that little off. Shame, because he was gaining on Smiley. Sits in there. Honda has dragged himself up to P4, but again he's off strategy. But obviously has tremendous pace, as you can see. And then some difficulties in the first couple of laps, 2 back-to-back 8-minute 18s is pretty mega. His tyres are struggling. Skinner's got damage again, but he decided to go on for now. Airman's on the back of this pack. Oh, Eamon, can he survive the damage? No. Oh, that's so unfortunate. This is a guy who's so normally military-like in his precision. As far as I know, he's sober this week as well, after his drunk Sprint Cup drive. That is so unfortunate. He's going to now have Lucky coming up on him as well. Ah, what a shame. I don't know if that was dirty air, cold tyres. Bluebird, in answer to your question, it's this is the championship last round, but all titles have been wrapped up. So Honda has won the Pro Championship. He's currently in P4 in this race. Gloss has won the GT Championship and obviously won separately from this, but the Sprint Cup was won by Alicos last night. So yeah, unfortunately both class championships were decided before we got to the ring, but winning this race, and so Zorro, who's just joined us in the comments, won the GT class race last week, was unfortunately only able to make tonight the last minute when it was full, and then it turned out there was a space. So again, frustrating, but we are where we are. But no title to be decided tonight, just the pride of winning at just the hardest racetrack on this game, or probably on any game to be honest, isn't it? Skinner goes on, he's in P4. Honda now pits. Interesting. Very calculating Honda, and he was already trying to, should we say, manipulate Sprint Cup rules last night. He'll be thinking, as soon as he had the insight, how can I get myself back in this race? Now, realistically, if this man makes no mistakes on Alicos as well, it's hard to know where Alicos is in relation to Smiley, because they took different fuels at the stops. But realistically, you don't think Honda could get himself back in this mix. Oh dear. Alicos has to be aggressive there, which isn't his usual style. I think he then pulled out of that in the end and let Jake keep it, but he just knows that this is really hurting his race. That isn't Jake's problem, it's Alicos's, but he did well to pull out of that. But I think right now Alicos is thinking, how do I clear this big blue Ford, because my rival in terms of winning this race is driving in clear air. Might turn out to be a masterstroke from Smiley to just short fuel at that last stop to get this now. That longer stop is surely going to be less time lost than what Alicos has had here. quick look at Smiley's fuel. Yeah, you can see it's a fair chunk lower, as is Jake's, but... And the thing is, I think... Alicos wanted to get the move done into the GP section, because once you move into here, it's so difficult. Unless can force a mistake. The lead's just gone to 10 seconds now as well, so Smiley is very much in hammer time mode. But just trying to see where potentially. The other thing with the Lambo, it's a great car, but it's not particularly strong on the straights. So everywhere where it's probably stronger than this Ford, it just probably hasn't got enough to get the job done. So, but as we have seen, Jake, although he's driving the nuts off tonight, has made a couple of errors. But that gap's about to go to 11 seconds to the leader now. So a quick look behind. Skin and Asfield, they've had a lot of time together this race. Again, Skinner's slightly off strategy here. Asfield's on fresh tyres. This is Asfield's last race with us for some time. It's almost slid me by, because it's almost like I can't imagine not racing with Asfield, because I spent so much time on track with this car. Just a great guy, great company, but he's got other priorities he has to attend to after the season. But I tell you what, he is driving his nuts off in a car that you'd say probably isn't best suited to this track, versus a car that you'd say very much is in the Porsche. But he is all over the back of them. Solid times. Whilst it can't match those 8:18 times that have been done. I think last week the fastest time was an 8:15 from Zorro, so I'd be interested if anyone matched that. Oh, again, you see, pushing hard, that bit of dirty air, how easy it is just to run wide. Apex in a really solid P6. Filthy again, P7. P8, who's been Honda back down here to P11. And on the recovery drive. I'd say fair play for Harbour sticking it out. 2 weeks running is a tough old race. I think this is now becoming key. Already was key that Alicos needs to clear Jake here. Yeah, but it was ×4 multiplier, so we started in twilight, come dark. We did the GT class race last night in the same conditions. It will become light and foggy, and then it will get lighter and lighter. But I'm trying to think roughly when that kicked in last week. When it started to get light in our race last week was also when it started to rain. But I'm not sure if any rain due at the moment. Now the gap hasn't continued to grow. Smiley was just putting time and time on. Just hovering around that 10-11 second mark at the moment. Into the carousel. I've got a real soft spot for that Ford. It looks and sounds so great. Round lap is at 11, as I said sunrise would be. So still plenty of laps in these dark conditions for the guy to do. Alicos is all over the back now, again. It's where you expect both him and the Lambo to be strong through this twisty section. Ah, the gap's just gone up to Smiley, hasn't it there? It's going to have to work out how Jay's going to get back on strategy. He might have to do an extra stop, do free lap and a couple of free laps, and then go to 4s and 5s. It's difficult. Some of this just has to do on the fly because you just don't know what damage you're going to get. Agree. cockpit cam does look great. I think this is, in terms of car variety, this has been my favourite season. As I say, I do worry next year we won't see anywhere near the same variety, but it is what it is. We will see potentially 2 new cars on the grid, so you know we can't have everything, can we? Again though, Jake just pulls a little bit through that section. Ah, that might be the opportunity Gallico's need. Pardon me. But now, is he going to be victim to the Ford on this long straight? But he had to take it. Jake's going that little bit wide. Let's see what progress that Ford can make. I have to imagine that gap's going to be too much now. Take advantage of the slip. And just see. It's gaining, but I don't think it'll be enough. It's crazy. This is just slipstream. This isn't DRS or ERS. Look at the inroads. Is he going to progress onto the back of the Lambo before the last section here? I don't think so. My God, that's nearly a second that he's taken out of him. Oh, but then you can see coming to here with the dirty air. Oh my God, it looks twitchy. Adacos goes deep as well. Adacos just needs to, he's got to start setting about Smiley if he can. Got to make sure he doesn't concede a place here to Jake, but he may well do. Super aggressive from Adacos to defend that inside, which I think he's going to be able to hold off, but will Jake be able to try a switchback? Oh, it's a double switchback, but Adacos blocks it off. It's a fantastic race between these two. But look at the gap to Smiley now, 15 seconds. Huge. Right, you should imagine that'll be enough now, but oh, some making up to do. Look at the fuel difference, decent though, decent fuel gap. 8.19, but then Smiley's in the 8.14s. God, that last lap feels big, doesn't it? Don't know if the other times are right. I don't think he did an 8.44 lap. Oh, maybe he did. He pit lap, but again, I was information to this, but that's a big lap. So, I'm guessing that Skinner has, yeah, he's just pitted and come out. Frost is back up to P8, but he's about to pit again. Look, he's in their place. So these two are doing great, Apex and Filthy, I think. News just leaves the pits. Honda's just about to leave the pits. I don't know if they got, that seems odd that Honda's pit again. No, the Honda's had damage again. And then the two guys at the back have had a really difficult evening, but thank goodness they're still both racing. Jay's on no fuel. It's really interesting now to see how this plays out between these two. Really got a battle on track, I think, have we? We should have soon though, with Skinner and Ross. Two Porsches who came, well, they're part of a Porsche 1, 2, 3, 4 and GT Gas Abu Dhabi. That was an interesting race, was Skinner did the extra stop on Ross and otherwise looked quite even, but see if he can make some inroads into Ross ahead. You'd hope so when you're on the fresher tyres, but see, still grip is still limited. Oh, that was brave with the amount of curb taken there. as he hunts down the Shell Porsche ahead. That's a throwback to a previous livery for Gross. Imagine Gross will be in this lap. Yeah, you see, look how much skin is gained now. It's right on the back. Again, right on the back during this really difficult place for the track to pass. Sure, Ehrman's giving him plenty of guidance on racing etiquette to have to be patient and wait for an opportunity. It looks great, doesn't it, with the Roxy teeth and the lights. What is this going to be? Well, if he gets that done running outside, wow, or if he gets stopped. He can. That's a move done. The technical part of the track, well done to him. Seeing how Filthy is might want to come back to the Filthy Lucky Bar. Let's just see what's happening about the coast. Gap's roughly the same. All 5 seconds on Jake behind. Yeah, let's keep a little eye on this one for now. We will go back to that one at the front, but you can see Lucky there in the background making progress on one of his recovery drives. Very level-headed Lucky, so someone that you'll often see do this type of thing. You very rarely be thrown off by those incidents early on. He'll just get his head down and do what he needs to do. Gap staying around 2 seconds. 5:55, that's a bit lucky. Yeah, look his last lap out, 8:18, that's quick. So you hear the music from the party section. Yeah, Gap's just maintaining, isn't it? Filthy Lucky here. Look at that onboard, that Beetle. So the onboard differences here are crazy. Taken a couple of attempts out of him there, but I wonder what the difference will be on the straight. I don't think this is the Beetle strong point. Yeah, look at the time loss. And when they started straight to the end. JH is back in now and he's 6% fuel. He's just been trying to work out how he can get back on track. He may have to do an extra stop. That does promote Ansel into third. Again, I think on his last race, if you could see him somehow on the podium, would be epic. Let's see. Yeah, the gap at the front's just extending. I don't know if that's because Smiley's on that slightly lighter fuel. He will be pitting soon, but it's looking a good position for him and the Audi crew. To be fair to Smiley's absolutely driven the wheels off the last few rounds. Yeah, it's just looking at the lap times. The last that's 8:14, 8:15, 8:18, 8:19 Monaco's. Which is perfectly fine lap times. Just driving at such a high level. Apex is in a P4 here. What's due to pit this lap? Interesting because JH is off strategy. Got a couple of guys off strategy. How that will all play out. Gap between Filthy and Lucky is just staying at 2. But Lucky closes that gap, doesn't it? And it's interesting to see if he loses it on the straight again, but we'll see. There's JH emotions Lucky. Interesting when they pit again. Gloss just behind him. Gloss has got to get those tyres in this lap. That looks a tough ask. Got Skinner's on the brand new tyres. But on fairly new. Honda on fairly new. Looks like even Honda isn't a match for Smiley's pace here, but it's part of that because he's become a bit disheartened at the race situation that he's in. At some point though, Smiley's going to have to do a 5-lap stint, or will he just go do what some of them were discussed about doing 2 4s early on, then going to 3-lap stints from there? We'll see. Oh, a bit of a moment from there. Alicos, bump and suspension damage. So that'll be, just see how this affects anything. I mean, it is the box lap, isn't it? Potentially. But then again, he's in a situation where there's probably another 5 laps needed somewhere unless he adapts the strategy. Again, you look at people like Adekosem and they so rarely make a mistake, and yet missing both do so this evening, unfortunately. It might open up potential for Azul, although that fuel's low, isn't it? And the tyres, especially the front left, has seen better days. Well, yeah, basically, is that match of tyres with Apex behind? It just makes you potentially thinking about a podium. I don't think we'll know fully until we get to around lap 14, where everyone's at strategy-wise. There's a lot of offset going on. I was wondering if this would be enough bonus points for Filthy to take that P2 in the title. In GT class, that is. Seeing if I updated it after last week. Adverts. Crazy how throughout this lap, although it goes up and down, the gap between Filthy and Lucky just stays roughly the same. That's 10 points, so I think this P5 would be easily enough for Filthy to then go on and take P2 in the championship in GT class. Oh no, Apex on fan of result as well. Oh, I saw I feel we were a little bit wide there. Whether Apex essentially took a bit of time out of them. Let's quickly get the points system up. I think I'd know it by now. For a minute, yeah, Apex is 20 taking above me as well. What a tragedy that would be. But yeah, Filthy taking more than enough points here. Smiley's in. A longer fuel here. Alaclose just entered the box now. As you'll enter in the box, I imagine we'll see Apex in as well, won't we? Yeah. Filthy. Yeah, Lucky. This is going to be interesting again now to see where JH is in relation to these guys and it's part of the pit lanes there. Smiley's already out. Let's just see how these cars go. How many of them JH can... Oh, he's had that damage repaired, hasn't he, as well? Pit crew's all getting to work. The fans should have to take that bit more. But JH comes out back in 3rd place. He's slightly off, isn't he, because he's done that extra lap, but he'll have to try and work that back somewhere. Because it looks like we've got a hell of a battle for this P3. Gap now at the front is monumental. Last week's GT class race was hit with 2 spells of rain. Wonder if any such weather will join us this evening. We'd add some variables in, because right now this is Smiley's race to lose. I think Alacro's fairly comfortable P2 as well. I think the battle is for the last podium place. So all these guys just pitted the same, well, Azrael Apex pitted the same lap. Lucky and Filthy did. Lucky's jumped Filthy. Filthy's filled up all the way, Lucky hasn't. 1.6 gap. Lewis is in the box also. Trying to see roughly where these guys level out. This is pretty much on net now, isn't it? Oh no. Apex ahead of Airman on brand new tyres. We know how quick Airman is here, but Apex on brand new tyres was saving on the older tyres. You'd fancy Apex, wouldn't you? Let's see. Yeah, so Apex is put away from Airman. They're interesting because Lucky is going to catch Airman before them this lap. Lucky has dragged himself back into that battle with Apex, which could end up becoming a big battle between a lot of cars for potentially P3. So Lucky trying to close in now. Again, Airman will be clever and thinking, how can I get back onto some form of strategy? Imagine he's boxing this lap and then doing one more stop before the end, providing no more damage, of course. Yeah, I imagine those tyres feel horrible now on that Mercedes. Can Lucky close in? Those tyres are just, I think they will just make it. That front left looks nasty though, doesn't it? And now Lucky really is in close behind. Apex, we hoping that Emma could just hold Lucky here. But no tyres, no fuel. Apex letting Apex pull up a nice little gap. Well, Lucky really is on the back. It's been a great recovery drive from Lucky. He had that early damage. potentially about to reclaim a P6. Filthy again, we just be hoping if everyone could just hold him here, bring him closer to Lucky, because Filthy has got a fuel advantage on Lucky. Yeah, quite a big one. Oh, here we go, back to this one. These guys are battling just before the still not even onto that back straight yet. We're in Airman will be boxing this lap, but Lucky we want to get past as soon as he can. Will he be able to get anything done onto that main straight? I wonder. Oh, look at this. Basically the Mercedes rear bumper. There we go. Oh, has something happened to... No, sorry, this is just them and... But Filthy's now right in the back. And Lucky Mike's going to go back to go from 100 to 100. No, he's going to give him the nudges. They're going to work together to get past the Mercedes. Oh my word, this is close. Oh man, that was intense, shall we say. Imagine we'll see Mercedes dart off now. Now, hang on a minute, as we just in Smiley pit again. Did Smiley have damage? Don't know, he's just seen him leave the pit. Surely that's got to be damage. Why would he have pitted again? Is this race back on? So you can never rule a race out here at the Nurburgring. Some people moan about it being a finale. It is the second time we've used it as such, but whilst the pack can end up spread out, the drama's never far away, and I don't know what we missed there, but it seemed unusual for him to pit in that situation. So now the tables have turned, where Alico's previously, JH was a hindrance to him, he could here now be a massive help. Smiley on fresh medium tyres is going to be unbelievably quick, but he's still going to have to clear Jake, and it doesn't look like he's going to do it before the end of the GP section. As we see that sky just starting to lighten, as Zoe said, we'll probably see the sunlight come out lap 7. Right, let's see how this plays out. It's just going to be, this is just not work out. Like, well, it's just difficult now to see what it all plays out because he had such a big lead. Issue is like the same issue Alico's had, because he's so much faster in the twisty bits. The main ever taking places here on the straight, and that 4 is hard to shift in the straight. Behind all of this, now got Azure really 3 seconds behind. So we're back to a situation where the top 4 are separated by 10 seconds or so. Shame we missed whatever happens, but definitely brought the race back to life, that's for sure. In terms of the battle for the win, that is. Also, it looks the situation where lucky after those issues, only 18 seconds off the lead. I think for now we have to stick with this one. I think that we can now say that pretty much everyone, I was in Apex or Aswell making a major error, but just what everybody else has. Let's assume that wasn't error from Smiley. I think you have to. That lead he has, he just wouldn't have been boxing for any other reason. Corey's all over the back now. God, the trust that is going on here. Because you'd think another incident or accident mistake would surely hand this to Adikos, but oh, he's trying to get this done on the outside. Oh, I think he has. I don't know how, what a move that is. He has made that stick, and that is incredible. And Adikos only 7.5 seconds up the road on worse tyres. And Smiley now has a better fuel, so that's flipped round. I think on pace as well, his pace just looks incredible, but yeah. I just can't fully know what happened on that last lap. I'm sure we'll find out in the general chat afterwards, but I'd say for now, this is race back on. Will we have that rain spanning the works as well? Yeah, harsh if it hit us in GT class, but it doesn't hit these pro drivers. But let's see. Now, Smiley might have to contend with JH going back at him here. Particularly if he can't put a decent gap by the straight. Oof, this guy's kicking up grass behind. I have to say right now, I don't know if Jake's off strategy or not. Still. Oh no, Jake. He's avoided damage. This is hard, man, because I want to see Jake get a podium in the Ford, and obviously I'll still get a podium in his last race, but we have to stay neutral, of course, in the commentary box and as the staff, but yeah, happy to be with those guys, or any of them really. If Lucky comes back and takes it from that recovery position, well deserved. Lucky has got ahead of Apex, so we missed that one. So yeah, just slowly but surely seeing that build up. He's dragging himself back into contention for this podium. Because Jake might have one extra stop to make here. It's going to make things quite soon. Very much now it's about what inroads can Smiley make into Adikos. We've both got one stop left. Adikos has got less fuel. Let's see. I mean, Smiley's fastest lap is you know, over 4 seconds on Adikos, but yeah, it's interesting for sure. Honda's just got himself back up to P8. It's 43 seconds, but he's got to pit anytime now. Again, on pure pace, looks like he's there or thereabouts, but again, seems like a couple of mistakes have cost him. Skinner, weird bumper damage again. Gloss back on track, that is a penalty. Got airmen all over him as well. I thought was to move from airman here, maybe a wait till we get to the main straight. Talking main straights where these guys are now. crikey, the distance that Smiley's pulled already. Oh, Filthy's past Apex. Oh, Apex had damage. That's unfortunate. Still had plenty of tyres left there. They've been condemned up another place, I'd have thought. Honda and Apex both in the pits. Obviously Apex doesn't need much fuel. Honda's got plenty to take. See how that leaves those guys. Airman is obviously past Gloss now with a little bit of time to spare. Gap is 5 seconds now at the front. Imagine at that pace, Smiley, I mean at the current pace, might give or take catch this lap. He's in sight now. He's going purple, Smiley. It must be ominous for Alicos. Azure, however, now getting onto the back of Jake for this last podium spot. Pretty sure Azure will put this down as one of his best drives. I know he's won some races here, but if he was able to take BMW Z4 to the podium in Nurburgring, I mean, crikey, it's some achievement. It's under a second now. Again, we're reaching that part where it's a tricky part of the track to overtake, isn't it? Bit off put with that rear view mirror. So at the front, the gap's now down to 3.5 seconds. Stick with this one for now and just see what Azure and JH do, and we'll get back to that one at the front any second. So you see now, Azure just brings that to around 6/10. Now see, let's say these guys are only 10 seconds off the lead. Look how close you are now as you got the carousel. Is this going to be moved on the outside? Oh. God, I was brave. I don't know. No damage, thankfully. I was brave trying to go on the outside there. Yeah, it's not quite sure what happened there. We didn't have the best view. The guys was just trying to stick on the outside. It's always going to be tricky. Now back at the front, Smiley 1.7 seconds off Adeco's. I think he's going to be on him by the end of this lap at the current rate. Now under a second as we go onto straight, although Smiley was on the grass there. Yeah, it's cost him a couple of attempts, but let's see. Leaders in sight. Sparks flying. We are going to start seeing, I think now, the sunrise come up and the fog. Alicos holds on to the lead for now. The sun's coming up, the Audi's closing in. JH is in. God, I thought we'd press the zoom button again there, but it's just how late Smiley was on the brakes. So we are an hour 30 through, 12 laps. The leaders separated by half a second. You can see just how close Smiley is, but again, the move isn't going to be done by the time we move on to the north side section. It'll be interesting. Obviously, can't go away from this bat at the minute, but JH has just come out on fresh tyres on P6. I'd imagine most of the guys who pit in this lap. It will be interesting to see where JH gets that extra stopping. I think he's going to need. I think he'll be able to go to the end from here. Yeah. Half a second between these guys. It looks Smiley had the race won, but obviously something happened, didn't it, to set him off. We missed that. Let's see if that Audi closes in on the straight. As we know, such a narrow part of the track. You see this morning has broken. I won't break into the song, but it looks pretty clear. I don't think we were getting the rain dramas we got last week. Feel free to be cursing that we looked set for a comfortable win last week until that rain hit. But he's doing himself a tremendous service tonight, currently in P5. But here's your battle for the win. We've got an almighty battle for the podium coming up as well, but we've got to stick with this one. Smiley's pace has been next level, so if he clears Alicos, I think again he'll resume probably a push to the win for the checkered flag, but can Alicos keep him behind? So a very quick look at the gap is here, so Lucky found right in the back of Asfield for that third place. Again, that'd be some going by Lucky if he gets back to third. Just shows the level of these top guys, Alicos, Smiley, and we haven't quite been able to see it tonight, but and Honda and Lucky, that at the top 5, they do just seem on that next level. Yeah, the track's getting lighter and lighter. You'll probably see a fog over it during this first phase of the lighter conditions. Oh, Alicos on the grass, that would invite Smiley even more. Probably just a sign of how hard Alicos having to push to keep him behind. So again, last lap, Smiley's in the 8:14s. I wonder if Alicos is due in this lap. Oh, again, just washing out a little bit. Oh, Smiley's going to be so keen, you know, to get past here. Oh, it's not an overtaking part, is it? Smiley did back out there. I think it was the brave decision to make. Or the wise decision, I should say. He's got the advantage here. High IQ, these guys. So close. Alicos supposed to be my only chance I've got to keep him behind for as long as I can. Probably trying to force a mistake, because if it's a mistake that doesn't impact on him, he'll be happy. Alicos holds on for now. A quick look at his tyres. So they're still in reasonable condition. Might better squeeze one more lap out of them. It's just swarming all over him. Alicos is holding his nerve for now. Oh god, those curves can be deadly as well. But the German driver though, in the German car, the German track, it feels like it's written in the stars. And last time out, the win It's decided in the steward's room. We want to see it decided on track this evening. I think it will be. I think Smiley's just going to have too much, but we just don't know. I mean, this track's already proven that you're never comfortable here, even if the lead appears so. What a great shot that is for the carousel. About to move on to the back straight now. Maybe we'll see. Oh, it's just such a big advantage in the slip. But as soon as he steps out the slip, and he is passed for now. And now the slip upstream advantage goes back to Alicos. He's got to try and stick with him, hasn't he? So he's going to box. In the meantime, we've missed it. We had to stick with that lead barrel, but look, he has got himself into P3 ahead of Azrael. Just some going after that early damage. He goes into the box as well, joined by Azrael. Looks like most of these guys said they're going to do that longer stint than the last one. But JH, as we've said all night, is just slightly off strategy with these guys. Oh, again, as for on the fuel being killed a bit, whereas Filthy's fuel was in a much better position. Well, interesting. Surely JH is going to jump these guys, but he's definitely going to have to pit again. Yeah, he's going to resume P3 for now. I think Filthy would have closed this gap up a fair bit on the fuel front as well. Filthy went all the way and Lucky a little bit less. Filthy's come out. Sorry, Lucky Apex. Sorry, is in a Lucky Filthy sandwich here. He had to pit the knee a little bit earlier because of the damage he received. Filthy's fueled all the way to the end. Makes you think, yeah, his car looked better on fuel than the others. Whether those other guys are going to pit again right at the end, I don't know. He's got slightly fresher tyres than Apex, so you imagine he makes inroads. He's got more fuel on board than Lucky has as well. It's nice to see the full livery on these cars now that we couldn't quite see in the dark. Said it last time out, but Audi looks absolutely fantastic, as does the Porsche head. Lucky now back behind us, so just need 2 seconds or so. What's the gap to Jake? 10 seconds, although we're almost certain Jake has to pit again. It's just a bigger gap at the front. Again, though, Smiley would have to box again, and we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I thought this was our next battle we were going to see. The 2 strongest performers in the GT class tonight, for sure. There's a big slide there from Apex, but he managed to save it. Won't do much favours for his tyre wear, but he'd rather that than have the damage, I'm sure. As you see, the sun's out, but you do get early morning fog here. Seeing that it's just so tricky to get close. You would back Filthy here on the fresher tyres. So, Apex is wide. Will that allow Filthy to close up? Apex wide again. Yeah, that's just going to allow Filthy through. Next up, we'll be seeing, I think, Lucky closing in on Nasriel. Nasriel because we can monitor the gaps of Jake then as well. Again, you can see plenty of power sliding. Let's see how he negotiates that carousel well. Looks anyway, from here. The gap's just come down quite substantially from JH. I wonder if he's had a slight issue there. And look at Jake's fastest lap, it's right there, isn't it? It just seems a bit on edge at times, but that's probably more the car. Lucky really starting to close in on Azrael now. It's our champion. It's been a difficult night for him, but he has managed to get back up to P8. Austin P10. Really glad to see the back of this place. I think he managed to recover to a P3 last week in GT class, but tough night tonight. Tough night for Eamon as well, who's normally so strong here. J12, and he's 13. He's only 13 seconds off J. So another difficult evening for Harbour, unfortunately. Smiley still leads Monaco, although again, that gap, looks to me like that gap's come down. Does Smiley have another potential problem? We'll come back to that one. Look, because right now, Lucky, he just got to in time. Lucky makes the move stick on Azrael. Maybe set up Jake now. We're just about to get onto that back straight where you'd probably fancy, especially the slip, you'd fancy his Z4. Let's have a look. Smiley's back in the box. We'll get back to that one in just a moment. Let's see if Azrael can come back and Lucky here. As you see him getting closer and closer and closer. He pulls alongside. All that work from Lucky has been done. That Z4 is just so quick on the straight line. See where Smiley comes out here, because I still haven't fully worked out if these other guys go to the end or not, but this is very intriguing for sure. Smiley's coming out the back of this battle. And we've seen how hard it is to pass one car, let alone two that are bumper to bumper. So we're just 10 minutes away now from the 2 hour mark. And yeah, as for his back ahead, we see him just a little bit wide there. Drive assist from Jake. He is going to have to pit again though today, I think. Fascinatingly poised as we move into his final stages. But yeah, let's see. So just pulled a little bit from Lucky, but it just goes purple, so it shows the pace is there. Right, let's now see. Look, he's starting to close in again. He's going to want to get this move done if he can before he gets back onto that big long straight. He isn't going to be able to, one, I don't think, pass that Z4 on the straight, and two, if he does get ahead before but the gap isn't there, hold on to it. Interesting. It's difficult because we weren't tracking Smiley because we thought we had a comfortable lead. What happened there? But he's obviously going to the end. It's okay for what everybody else is doing. Again, it's just great that we're so deep into this race, yet we're still seeing battles as close as this. Always the fear for all the challenges of racing here, whether we'll end up with two big gaps. But yes, of course, there's some gaps in the field, but this is still relatively tight here. We have no idea really how it's going to play out in terms of last stops and offsets. But in doing what it said it would at the start, it definitely brought you some drama this evening. We haven't had that variable weather we had from last week, which definitely would have had another element, but these two are starting to see Smiley edge closer behind. It's tight between these two, isn't it? And they're slowly bidding in Jake ahead, and I think slowly being reeled in by Smiley behind. Let's have a quick drive through the field. Alico's just doing Alico's thing, really, staying out of trouble, doing a really solid drive. Just going to see what happens if Smiley coming back at him, or potentially him coming back at Smiley. It's perfect, isn't it? Maybe he's just been leaving a bit in the tank for a final push at the end. Look back here at the Beetle of Lucky. Again, it feels like he's going to catch him in a part of the track where he might be vulnerable to get taken straight back. Oh, look how much he's gained through there. We switched down to the onboard of Lucky. This is a tough place of the track to get anything done. Yeah, the closing of Lucky through that section is unbelievable. Just about to get back soon to that long straight. It's just going to make things tricky, I think. While he isn't quite leading these guys in at the rate I thought he would. See, everyone's lap times are improving and conditions. Oh, that's a lot of curve from Asville there. It's a great shot. See, he's smiling in the background, hunting these guys down. Oh, lucky on the crash, trying to get this move done. So Asville was flying mid-air, sparks flying, grass flying, cars flying. Desperately trying to get this move done, but again, getting it done here would he just be vulnerable to being taken straight back. And see, so this time Lucky's opted to wait until the straight. Is this going to be a case that once he gets alongside, he just won't be able to out-drag his BMW? I'd have thought so, but let's see. Yeah, it doesn't seem to gain that much. Even the slip. Yeah, Asville staying ahead. Unless he's looking at, oh, he does, he pulls alongside now. BMW versus Volkswagen. Volkswagen wins for now. Let's see if Lucky can hold on to this. Smiley is gaining on both of them. JH is in for his last stop. Means this is now P2, P3. Asville now comes back alongside Lucky. Or door to door to reach the braking zone. Is Asville going to get back ahead? All he is, there's a bit of contact and Lucky attempts to switch back and Asville tries to block it. It's going to bring Smiley right into play. He's now right on the back bumper of Lucky. This is all wonderful news for Alicos. I can only think all these guys going to the end. I'm just wondering why Filthy had to take a full fuel tank and Lucky didn't. But maybe it will become apparent if this is a battle to the end. Surely this is now Alicos to lose with the extra stop for Smiley. Now have a quick Smiley as he can't make this up, can he? But Alicos is now done 8:13 anyway, so as I say, maybe he was just leaving something back. And Smiley can't do anything like Alicos till he's cleared these two. fascinating race that's ebbed and flowed. Oh, look, he's trying to get a move done on Adriel. We're trying to stop one being done by Smiley. Oh, I'm getting a great view of this from Smiley's perspective here. Oh, and Smiley had to resort then to a save on the curb. Oh man, look, he's swarming all over the back of that BMW. Got some company here. That's it. Oh, it's onto the grass again. Smiling, lucky now. Door to door. Smiley edges ahead now of Lucky. So Lucky's gone from trying to take P2 to now losing P3. As we're driving his heart out here and what will be his last race to a Senor Alverson time. Oh, it's deep. Oh, Smiley now trying to get alongside, which opens the door for Lucky. Oh my word. It's so deep in this race now that any mistake you just won't recover. These guys have raced each other super hard. It's on the edge. This is doing absolute wonders for Alicos up ahead. Surely too much now for these guys to do. For the win, but the battle for P2 is intense. Oh, Smiley, you think there's no moves to be had here, but I mean, yeah, their lap times are miles down. Just right of quick for what's happened to Apex, but in the meantime Smiley does get that move done. Again, you could throw a blanket over these three cars here. Again, going back out of the coast looks clear. Smiley is pulling away from these two now. Will they work together to stick with him? Or these two just going to duke it out for this last podium spot? Yeah, I was just noticing how much Apex has fallen out of that top 8. I think something must have happened to him. Yeah. Oh, is that Lucky still trying to get this move done on Asriel. Oh, it's done. We just saw it there in the background, didn't we? Asriel having a bit of a sideways moment. I've looked down this field in a moment. Smiley already nearly 2 seconds down the road. He just surely can't do fight this gap to Alicos. Look, he'll want more breathing space than this before they get down to the back straight. Already seen how quick and hard to defend against that Z4 is in a straight line. Oh no, Lucky, too much curb into the barrier, that's damage. It's going to open the door for Filthy as well. Oh, it's so unfortunate. He has done so well to drag himself back into this. Just too much curb, and it's whipped him round. Oh, he'll be devastated. He's such a cool, calm and collected guy, but he's so close to recovering this to a podium, but man, this place just bites you. Just put Filthy now into a P4. It's an incredible drive from him. We've got JH, who we know is going since he looks like he will get him back to P5. Because surely Lucky's going to have to pit. So we know that Smiley's got the best tyres, hasn't he? And he's, up until recently, had the best pace, but surely this is too much to do. Alico's going to cross this line, 2 laps to go. Let's see what he does. Oh no, Alico does have to pit. Oh, it's his game on. And Smiley, there's Aswell now 5 seconds behind. I wonder what tyres. I wonder if Alico's going to put the softs on, but. Surely here, this is taking the lead. It's softs though. I mean, there isn't much left of them at the end of these 2 laps, but oh my word, they're coming out almost together. Again, although Articos has a good tyre here for now, they'll wear quicker, and can't be interested in the pits, because although Aswell's coming ahead of Filthy, look at the fuel. Filthy, I think it's jumped Aswell here. A few of them going for the softs here on this last stint. Just seeing what Lucky's got. Aswell's got to Lucky's. So they have to go that fuel on. So Filthy now up into P4. On the P7, there's Apex P8. Skinner P9. He's coming to box as well. I think I was going to put that down here. God, Smiley, Anaco's already opened up 6.2 seconds. Wonder if this will come back to Smiley though, although he's on more warm mediums. What a race. We're going to the last 2 laps, there's 2 seconds separating the top 2. Can JH now secure this podium, I wonder? On relatively fresh mediums. Does the podium opportunity now open up for Filthy? I mean, that'll be some result. I think anyone can argue second in the GT Class Championship if he takes a podium here. Just wonder if Alico's just getting ahead. Coming out ahead is the key to this race. How good that tyre is. Had he burnt up most of that tyre this lap behind Smiley going to the last one, but just wonder, he just literally came out a few meters ahead, and that could be the race decider there. Of course we'll come back to this one, but just want to keep an eye also on this potential battle for last podium place. It's currently being held by JH, but we're just on with Filthy at the minute. You can see JH in the distance. Filthy is going to be trying to hunt him down while keeping Aswell behind. So Aswell's gap's lucky, yeah, it's fairly comfortable, isn't it? Oh, oh no. Oh, that's surely the race done. No damage, but that spin for Smiley. Sure. Oh dear, he's having issues now getting back onto the track. Dirty tyres. That's Alacosis to lose now. Send this home with Smiley so fast, but if it's the pace that's inducing those mistakes, or whether it's the car. But that has handed the race win to Alacosis. Shame we're going to be denied what could have been an epic finale, but we may still get one for this last podium place. It's currently being held by JH. He's been hunted down by Filthy, who he himself has been hunted down by Azrael. Lucky a further 8 seconds back. We think he's out of it now after that spin of his own spin. Yeah, Filthy's driving ahead of the race. I mean, either way here, you can't not be happy with who gets this last podium place, can you? You've got Jake stepping in out of nowhere in the Ford. It'd be incredible. Filthy for the GT class. Look, I can't say he was robbed of a race win last week, but the rain certainly didn't help him. And we've got Azrael in his last race. For now, we won't say a goodbye, we'll just say a goodbye for now. For the podium, and for a long time Lucky was in this hunt for the podium after what was an incredible recovery drive, that a further spin from him has probably just left him too much to do, and he's not making any inroads. So I think it's now a fight between Jake, Filthy and Azrael for his last podium spot. Unfortunately the race for the battle for the race has been done, I think, with that spin from Smiley. You can never say never round here, but yeah. Again, Jake, who's on the mediums versus who's on the softs. The gap's staying fairly stable. There is Jake, followed by Filthy, followed by Azrael, Ford, followed by Filthy, Ford followed by Audi, followed by BMW. Yeah, I think Kaz, you've driven an incredible season. I think the points Filthy's going to take here are going to give him that P2, but yeah, I think you should still be very proud of P3 in a very competitive GT class field this year. Let's see what next season brings. But for now, it's about getting a podium at Nords in the top tier. And these guys are currently ahead of Lucky, Honda, Airman, some big names, Gloss, the GT champion. Just shows this is almost like a championship in its own right, racing here. Yeah, on his day I think Filthy's been there or thereabouts with Gloss. It's just Gloss is very similar really to the Pro tier, where Honda has just had more good days, and that's all it is. There's so little to choose. Oh, Jake looks visibly closer now. Yeah, you can see it. Although I do think this might come back to him on the last lap, because of the rate that those softs will wear at. And we know Jake could be a tough old unit to pass. This is set up for an epic finale for this last podium place. So we're not too far away now from going on to the last lap. There you can see the main contenders for this. But yeah, that's done at the front. Oh, Smiley's wide again. Smiley might end up opening the door here to these guys behind. It's such good pace, but in the end this is definitely Alacosis' race now. That leader has changed so many times this evening, but I can't see it changing again. I could potentially see this one. This is going to be one hell of a battle. Got a reserve driver, a GT class driver and a pro driver. Three distinctly different cars. They're on different, certainly across at least two of them, on different tyre strategies. great shot that is. Jake holds on for now. What he'll really want to do is, though it sounds obvious, is hold on through the GP section. Now this is going to throw another spanner in the works. Smiley is in the pits again. He doesn't have damage, but maybe just wants those soft tyres on. But surely that's going to give places. It is. So now Jake and Filthy are on the podium. As was in Speed Force, this is no longer a battle for the podium. Two of these guys you think would take it. Yeah, Panda mentioned that earlier. I haven't seen all the highlights from that race. I will watch it later, but I think I don't know if the kangaroo being hit will make the highlights. But here we go. So Smiley's throwing another spanner in the works here. Yes, he's going to be quick as hell on fresh softs. He's just come out ahead of Lucky. He's 6 seconds fast fuel. There's a potential here for Filthy to take P2 from the GT class, which would be an unbelievable result. I mean, to be honest with you, any of these would be. Jake coming in out of nowhere, really, as a reserve in a difficult car to take a P2. Filthy from the GT class. Azrael in his last race for us at some time in a Z4. We've already talked about how next season we might just see a plethora of Porsches and Ferraris. Well, right now you've got a Ford, an Audi and a BMW battling for this podium, and they may well about to be joined by a Lamborghini, because Smiley will be hunting these guys down. He's opted to go aggressive on the strategy the race is done for him, so he thought, you know what, let's have some fun. But has he given up a Nurburgring podium to do that? Filthy, as we've seen many people tonight, is now having to weigh up Hunter versus Hunted. Yes, you'd love a P2, but just a podium here is almost like a race win at some of the venues. It's such an achievement. He's driven such a solid race. Definitely was caught up in something at the start. I think a bit of the shenanigans went at turn one. But again, we enter this final lap with everyone we started with, and that's for 2 weeks running. And some guys further back have had difficult races, but they have stuck at it. If we can complete 2.4 hours here, then surely we should be able to complete every race, because that's a tremendous effort from both classes. This is super close here. What a battle. And Smiley isn't making the inroads you'd think he would. So I think these guys are going to be able to duke it out between themselves. There's a hell of a gap for Smiley to make up. Yes, he's going to have the best tyres of the lot, but there isn't that much time left. All of GT class his comrades are cheering for Filthy here to go and get that P2. We know what a hard task it is though to get past Jake. Let's go on with Filthy for now, because we can see we can see him hunting down Jake, and we can see Azrael. I think he saved it. He's still squirreling everywhere, but he has kept that car going. That's given Filthy a little bit of breathing space from behind, not much, because despite how dangerous that looked, it's only now 2 seconds behind, but it at least allows him now to look forward, focus on the car ahead. What a race this has been. This place just always delivers. You don't get straightforward races here, that's for sure. Filthy's just kind of gone away about his business, as he does, just consistent, reliable. He was robbed of a win here last week with the weather. As I say, Zorro drove an unbelievable race as well, but we were robbed of a finale, I should say. Maybe not robbed of a win, but yes, he'd have wanted that win. But a podium here in the top tier would be incredible. A P2, yeah, would be something else again. Is he going to be able to do it? Smiley has cleared Asriel behind, and now he's going to have to worry about his fellow Audi driver because he's going to be coming like the absolute clappers that are there. Not quite sure what's happened to Asriel, but yeah, Smiley is going to be... he's going to be hard to stop. There's not an awful lot of this race left, but... so if he is going to try and overtake Jake, he cannot afford to lose time and risk the podium spot to his Audi teammate. There'll be absolutely no team orders at Audi, I can assure you of that. We'll make sure we give Alicos his moment. And Jake has a little wobble of himself. Something happened there. Filthy is in P2. Jake is really struggling now. What is it? There's no damage. Oh my goodness, he's just sliding everywhere. Filth will be hoping now he's past him that he can just delay Smiley just a little bit. Oh, Smiley goes. Like, oh, I just had a nightmare the second half of this race. Oh, what's the rejoin? Surely that now frees Filthy up for this P2. Mind you, I shouldn't say that because we've seen how often this track can bite. Oh, Smiley's just... from where he was to where he's ended up is just incredible. Make sure we get round to Alicos, and I want to just keep an eye on that mini-map. This race is just giving us drama right to the end. Does it like JH will hold on for a podium of his own? So a few sketchy moments, that car seems on edge, particularly on some of these exit curves. But yeah, I think, where are we now? Got a bit of time left. Jake, it looks like Jake is coming back at him a little bit. And we know how fast that Ford's going to be coming back straight. That's definitely one to watch because Jake may just be able to nab that back at the end. But this man enters the Dawson straight for the final time. He's already flashing those lights. He's not going to do a Nigel Mansell here at the chicane, is he? No, I think he's too good for that. What a drive. He said all year, give me the car, I think I can go and fight with these guys. Well, he took that decision at Abu Dhabi to switch the car, and he's proven his point. Bodes well for one hell of a season next year. You see him take the fight to Honda. Smiley's pace we've seen is just incredible when he can keep it on the track, and Airman again has had some difficulties this evening, but we know he can right there as well. But right now, let's not worry about next season. Let's not worry about who's won this year's championship. The plaudits go to Alicos. He is your Nurburgring 2.4 hour winner. What a drive from him. We go back. Can Filthy defend on this straight against Jake, and the power of that Ford? He is nearly there. Gap's down to a second. He's nearly there. I think if he can get into the twist of it, which he has, he's just got to survive the run to the line. With Filthy, take a bow. That is P2 at the Nurburgring in this stacked field. You deserve that, my friend. Well done. And hats off to this guy as well. Stepping as a reserve. Difficult car, difficult track. Takes P3. As we are lucky having a drag race to the line, P4 and P5, they've both had their issues this evening. Smiley's had unbelievable pace, but just hasn't been able to keep out of trouble. He takes P6. Honda, your championship winner, takes P7. Apex is going to come home for P8. As we see him there. Skinner, who it feels a hell of a long time ago, but led this race early on. But he's going to come home for a P9. He's going to beat his Porsche teammate Gloss. He's going to beat his protege, or he's even the other way around, actually, isn't it? His master, I should say, Airman. But he's going to come home for P8. You know what? In the field, as stats as this, it's still a good result. Looks like we've lost one. I've just noticed because we ran with 14 almost all race, and we just dropped to 13 at the very end. That's a shame. well done, Skinner, for seeing it through. Some difficult moments, but yeah, you did lead this epic race at one point, so hats off to you. And then we'll flip to, we've got Gloss, who's next in line. Picked up a podium in GT class last week. It's been a tougher race for him this evening. But he's going to come home still for P9. He's still going to finish ahead of Airman. It's no mean feat. Beautiful looking Shell livery this evening as well. Airman takes line to take P10. I wonder if these guys will all make the line before the continuation. Beeman P11. Trying to work out who we've lost, but it'd be nice if they can all make the line. Not sure if Noose will. Jay's had a incredible turn of pace and GT at the back end of the season. It's unfortunately he has just run out of time to make that line. But let's give you that summary. So, let's grab a screen of that quickly. Oh no, we did have everybody there. I think Jake just left before the end. We need to just put that one back. But it was Alicos who took the race win. Filthy P2. It was Jake, wasn't it, in P3. Azure P4. Lucky P5. Smiley P6. Honden P7. And then took fast lap of 8:12, just showing what might have been. Apex P8. Skinner P9. Gloss P10. Airman P11. J P12. News P13, Arva P14, and Jake, although it shows in there P14, is actually P3, but I think left just before the end. But just a few highlights for there. Obviously, Honda, your championship winner. Alicos, your race winner. Filthy, delighted for him after potentially say missing out last week with the weather. I don't know, we can only ask him what would he have preferred, a GT class potential win or taking a P2 in that pro field. Both mega achievements, but that's the one he secured tonight. Could be happier for him. Jake to come in kind of out of nowhere and take a third place in a difficult car. And then I was really unlucky. They both had their moments. Lucky clawed his way back, gave away again, and they had a drag race to the line. There's a lot of great moments there. I think one of the greatest moments is the fact that the whole field finished the race for second week winning. But that is a wrap for now. We have a special event next week, which is the 80s and 90s sports cars, which will be great fun. And then we are into podium, 4 weeks of GT4 racing. It's a little bit of pre-season testing then for next season, livery reveal over the Easter weekend, and then we are back with our next full season, starting on April 12th, which will be the Sprint Cup, and then followed the following week by the first round of the New Endurance Championship. But what a season, from Watkins Glen through to Nurburgring. Yes, championship was decided before we got here, but there's been no shortage of race winners, no shortage of podium winners, people on the podium, and some of the racing's been epic, and this one tonight was no different. Drama throughout, multiple changes for the lead, but in the end, Alicos takes a well-deserved race win, and Honden takes a well-deserved championship. Thank you all for joining tonight, both on the stream and in the comments, and we will see you all again soon to bring you some more epic racing from Gran Turismo 7 on ERL. Thanks all, enjoy the rest of your evenings.